Hello, lovely ladies. Welcome to my second live on the journey of love. And today's live is on the theme of embodying awakened love. So I'm just cleansing myself, my space with a little bit of Palo Santo. It's a beautiful smell. Hello and welcome. Putting my heart back on my altar behind me here and just getting myself ready for this live on embodying awakened love. I just remembered I need to open my Facebook because when I don't know why it is with my phone, I never see people's comments and I want to be able to see your comments. Okay, here we go. I can see. All right, here we are. So let's just get myself over there. And then I can give you my full attention. So yeah, here I am. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome from my heart to your heart. Welcome from my Shakti to your Shakti. To this live on, it's a really big theme. Well, like yesterday's one, embodying awakened love. And following on from yesterday's theme of healing the wounds of love, they really go together, you know, but there's so much to say about both topics. And as I said yesterday, as a priestess of love and sacred sexuality, this is what my life is dedicated to embodying love, to walking the goddess path of love. And so, having made that dedication first unconsciously in my quest for love and healing, and then consciously in my dedication to the goddess, you know, I've made a conscious commitment to walk that path. And so life brings me opportunities to meet all that is not love within myself and within myself, because what is within me is within everything else. So, and yeah, I think I'll say that. This morning, this is totally on the topic. Since deciding I was going to offer these lives and these workshops, my own relationship with my lover has been quite tumultuous. My wounds and triggers surfaced, as they do. And this morning, I really got the clarity, the decision, finally, after a lot of processing, that it is time for me to release that connection. And so what I want to say, I guess, as I start out here in this live is that I really want you to get that embodying love and embodying awakened love doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be living a romantic fantasy. And I think I said something about that yesterday in terms of how I'd had this beautiful weekend with my lover. And then I watched this romantic movie and it brought up all my dissatisfaction and all my wants and desires and needs. And, you know, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, he doesn't touch me that way, he doesn't buy me flowers, da, 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 da. So there's this romantic fantasy that we all have that's so strong in our conditioning, this belief that love is about being in a relationship, finding a man, and that somehow that when we have that, then everything's going to be okay. you know, that is the pinnacle, that is the ultimate. And it's not. The love that we seek is already here. The love that we seek, we already are. And, you know, I spoke again about this yesterday in the original wound of separation that we can't help. As we're born into the world, we feel our separation from source, from God, from divine, from pure, unconditional love. And so we go seeking for it, and we seek for it in other people, we seek for it in things, we seek for it in substances, and we will never find it there because it's here. That's what my love questing has shown me and taught me. And despite my knowing that, I still have that impulse that wants to go out and find and seek or attract or magnetize a man into my life. So just acknowledging that is there. It is there. I don't deny that exists within. It is there. And yet there's this truth. We are love. We come from love. We return to love. We are love. And for me, this whole life's journey is about not just remembering that and knowing it as an intellectual thought, something I read in a book, but embodying it. Because so much spirituality, oh my God, someone's drilling outside, that's really loud, I don't know if you can hear that. So much spirituality is about this seeking to elevate, to transcend, to go beyond, to become something that we're not at the moment, which already sets up a separation, a sense of, I want to be here, but I'm here. So there's this gap, right? This gap, but actually we're here. Let's just be here where we are fully and be in the body fully, knowing that we are God in the body now in this moment, nowhere else, nothing else, nowhere else to go or look up to. It's like here in the body is God, here in the body is love, here in this moment is transcendence, in and through the body, integrated, human and divine. Yeah, so we are love. We come from and we return to it, but we are also it now. It's here now if we allow ourselves to feel it now. So much conditioning, so much programming, so much of the way we live teaches us to disconnect from what we are, to stop feeling the love that is here, to stop knowing the infinite supply of love and truth that is always there, available. We cut off from it because of the split, body-mind split that's pervasive. Body-mind split, sex and spirit split, chasing things on the outside, get. This reaching out takes us away from our hearts. This reaching out takes us away from our beingness. This reaching out takes us away from our source connection, which is here now. I didn't mean to say any of this, it's just coming through to be said. So, you know, it's a bit of a download. So in this time of awakening, we all know, you're in this group, we're in this group of awakening Shakti. We know that's why we're here. We know that we're on this timeline of ascension, of awakening. And as women, we have a really important part to play in that, because we're part of the sacred rebalancing that is happening around the world, energetically, physically, globally. This rebalancing between masculine and feminine, between head and heart, all of this we are such an important part of, and we can only bring that balance into being if we are embodying love, because this time is about walking into the new age of love, true love, true unification, which starts with the unification within. And the feminine, her part is so important because she is the embodiment of love. That is our true nature, our true essence in the feminine is pure, unconditional, radiant love. So we're here to embody that. The awakened love is the unconditional love, is the unattached love, is the innocent love, is the love that has no agenda, no conditions, no desire to manipulate, no distortion about it. That is the pure love we are here to embody as the divine feminine. And I hope you forgive me for drinking my tea here as I talk. So I want you to know this about yourself, that you're already it. You're already it, and you can only become more love. You can only become more. The more your sexual energy awakens and flows through you. Your sexual energy is love. Such a misconception out there. When you truly feel that energy enter and rise and move through your body, you will know it as love. There's nothing dirty, disgusting, wrong, bad, shameful about your sexual energy. Okay, so you're already it. Your womanly body enables you to connect with the divine quality of unconditional love and to bring that through into the world as your heart opens and clears and is healed of its wounds, which was why I was making that live yesterday. Of course, as we then come into life, we meet that which is not love. And one of the biggest places that we encounter that is in relationship. When we enter into relationship, we are shown that within us that is a barrier to love. We are shown that within us which is not love. This is all the stories, all the conditionings, all the woundings, all the limitations, all the not good enough beliefs, all the low self-worth beliefs. This is all not love, and all of this gets in the way of a true meeting in love. So every relationship is here to bring us closer to love, whether that relationship is a success or a failure, as in whether that relationship lasts 5 years, 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 weeks, 55 years, it's irrelevant. That's just, you know, that whole patriarchal programming of years, time, meaning anything. It's absolutely irrelevant. What is relevant is the love that we make with the other, as in the love we create, and the healing that we do to come closer to the recognition of ourselves as love and as one, recognizing that the other is us, God in form, bringing us closer to that recognition of ourselves as that. So every relationship, romantic or non-romantic, is an opportunity for us to become more love, to embody more love. And again, just using to return to love. Each person is a mirror for our return to love. Using my own experience as an example, every relationship, every lover I've had and been with, including this most recent one, beautiful man, I love and honor him and respect him so much. It seems the time has come for this connection to end, but it's brought me closer to knowing even more about myself and to loving even more of the wounded parts of myself. So I've become more, not less. My heart has opened more, not less. What a gift. I now can bring this love forth into the world, into all my other connections and relationships, with my children, with my clients, with my family. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I'm going to take another sip of my tea. Can you imagine, though, as I say this, how you would be in relationship and in your relationships if you understood that this is an opportunity for you to deepen in love, first and foremost with yourself. First and foremost with yourself, because of course, as you love yourself more and you embody that deeper love for yourself, so again that is reflected in the external. But it won't work the other way around. If you're giving from a need, if you're giving from a desire for, if you're giving to get, you will only empty yourself out and deplete yourself of worthiness. And that is not love. That is not love. So I've got some points. I've got about 10 points here. How do we become embodied? How do we embody awakened love? Like, what the fuck? Sounds so grand, doesn't it? Sounds so divine. I mean, I'm a very devotional person. So divine love speaks to my heart. That is what I believe I am here for, is to embody divine love. You might be different. But how do we embody this? Well, it's a being. It's not a doing. Is that true? No, it's a being and a doing, actually. It's both. And first part of it is the ongoing healing of the wounds and the recognition of that. So that's all the stuff I spoke about yesterday. To embody awakened love, we have to continuously meet those parts in ourselves which are not love and love them. That's top part of the process. You don't need to be in a relationship to embody awakened love. You be in a relationship with yourself. You be in a relationship with your God, your source, your creator, however you name that. That is the primary relationship always. And that is enough to embody awakened love. And then when you want to share it in a relationship, like how beautiful if you are able to meet someone who's on that same journey with you. But you don't need a relationship to embody awakened love. How do we do it? Some similar themes to yesterday's message. And I'm just going to see, by the way, sorry, because I got carried away in my talking, if anybody made any comments or questions. Oh, you're there, Sean. Hi. Hello. Thank you for your heart. The first step, we know ourselves. I said this yesterday, but again, we know ourselves. We are honest with ourselves 100%. Oh my God, so many times I would say, but I am being honest with myself. I am being honest. This is the truth. But I wasn't. And it's not that I'm a bad person. It's not that I'm dishonest at all. I'm almost compulsively honest. In fact, but there can be such subtle ways in which we don't tell ourselves the truth about what we really know. If we really, really, really listen in to our deepest hearts knowing, our deepest wombs knowing, our deepest embodied sense, we know, and sometimes we deny or push away the truth that we already know on some level. We have to trust that knowing, and we have to be 100% honest with ourselves. Awareness. It also comes from your ongoing meditation practice. I know some people don't like me saying that, but you have to access higher states of consciousness. You have to have a way of accessing stillness. You have to have a way of accessing deeper states of awareness. Otherwise, you're just going to tread water in the same place. You cannot evolve. You cannot embody awakened love if you're stuck in the same paradigm of thinking and believing and looping around in the thoughts that are comprising your woundedness and your stuckness. The only way to shift out of that is to awaken your consciousness, and the primary way I know to awaken my consciousness is a daily meditation practice, a daily space where I access stillness, higher states of consciousness, downloading healing, downloading gifts, uploading intuitive wisdom, but it's not coming from the mind. The mind is not your friend as far as this part of it. You have to get out of the fucking mind, because the mind is so conditioned and programmed. You've said, Emma, you've said, can you repeat, meet all the parts of you that are not love? Yes. All the parts of you that are not love will be shown to you. Usually, the minute you get triggered by somebody or something that you're in relationship with. And then you'll begin to see what is not love, the self-doubt, the low self-worth, the lack of awareness, the lack of commitment to yourself, the allowing treatment that is not honoring to you, the way you don't hold your boundaries. All of these are not love, right? These are not love. So you see them in yourself and you recognize them. You do not judge yourself, because that is not love, but you see them. The other is a mirror for you to see what is not love in you, to bring you closer to love. Does that make more sense? So know yourself, practice awareness, practice truth-telling, radical truth-telling, practice stillness meditation every day, unfailingly. This connection to greater levels of consciousness and awareness are such an important part of this, is so they allow you to see more clearly, to discern more clearly, to perceive yourself, to witness the other without judgment or blame, and to detach from the identification. So there's something about identification, because identification with the self is where all suffering arises from. Identification with your pain, identification with your story, identification with your personality, identification with the roles that you play. All of this creates suffering. When we can detach from that, there is no suffering. When the mind goes quiet, not telling a story, there is sensation, there is energy, there may be something moving through, but there is no suffering in that pureness of this very moment, right? It's the storytelling that's all in here that creates the suffering. So meditation and stillness. My pleasure. So got 10 points. Number 1, know yourself. Be honest with yourself. Cultivate higher states of consciousness through meditation. 2, love yourself. Easier said than done, right? What does that even mean, to love yourself? Well, you have to include your body, you have to include your mind, you have to include your emotions, and you have to include your spirit. So you have to love every part of you. And where the not love is for everybody is going to be somewhere different. It could be in the way your mind talks to you. Notice your self-talk, the self-judgment, the self-blame, the self-loathing, the self-diminishment that happens with the mind. Notice it and forgive it and love it and begin to shift. I notice I'm talking to myself in this way. This is not loving. Thank you, but no thank you. I choose to replace this thought with this more loving thought towards myself. And what about your body? For so many women, the body is a huge area of non-self-love. Can you look in the mirror and naked and love what you see? Truly, truly love every part of you. And if not, that is your work. Look in the mirror. Say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Do practices of self-care, self-nurture, self-touch, self-healing, self-pleasure. Love your body. Love your mind. So we all know the mind can be such a barrier to love, you know, but we have to honor it as well, rather than judge. Love the mind and redirect it and bring it back to the heart, bring it back to what you know is true, because so much of the story that the mind is telling you is not true, and you know that really, but you are so easily led astray by it. Your emotions, again, there can be so much conditioning in the world for us as women to feel that we should not be emotional, should not show our emotions, should not feel our emotions. And yet, as part of this time of reawakening, it is essential that everybody feels deeply as possible. This is not the same as becoming hysterical. This is not the same as throwing your emotions at somebody else or blaming somebody else for them. That is an immature feminine behavior. Little girl, teenager stomping her foot. No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying, but you must feel fully. This is your role, to feel everything, to open your heart and feel and allow emotions to flow through you. You are the vessel for her to flow. You must feel her. In your feeling, you guide the masculine. In your feeling, you bring the world back to its heart. So your feeling is needed. Wherever you are shutting down, repressing, contracting, stopping your tears, any emotion, that is an area for you to look at, to open that floodgate and to let the emotion, which is just energy, to be felt and to flow. If you don't stop it, it will keep on flowing and change very rapidly. No emotion is wrong or bad, no emotion. But many of us have learned very immature ways of expressing emotion, blaming others, spewing out emotion without any awareness or compassion. That's not what I'm saying at all. But feeling, yes, feel it all deeply. So, know yourself, love yourself. Third point, heal yourself. To embody awakened love, of course, this is the ongoing journey, healing the wounds. The more you heal and integrate, the more love you are and become. The less you do, the less you're willing to acknowledge, the less you're willing to go into the pain, the more stuck you will remain, and your body simply could not open to the immense love that's available to you, because wherever you are unhealed, contracted, the body and the energy body are contracted. Energy cannot flow. Love wishes to flow through. How can it flow through a contracted heart that's like this? Heart has to open to allow it to flow. That means you'll feel pain, yeah. And then beyond the pain, you'll feel more love, more compassion, more unconditional love for yourself and everybody else. But you have to feel that first. And that hurts. Right? Heal yourself. Fourth point, be yourself. And I know this is, it just came into my head and I didn't want to say, but it is a truism, an aphorism. Be yourself, everybody else is taken. I was just on a session earlier today with a client, and the recognition came, the word authentic. The longing to be received in authentic relationship, and with that, the longing to be authentic. You know, we have to take this at a deeper level than you might be understanding it, because I notice within myself, and I see for sure within pretty much everyone else, that there are parts of us and places in us that we bend out of shape to please others, to fit in, to avoid rejection, to avoid judgment. Being yourself means 100%, all of you here, showing up without any fear of rejection, of judgment, of offense, of loss, fully, 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 fully true in every moment. That is love. It doesn't look like being nice all the time. It doesn't look like being kind all the time. It looks like being radically true all the time. It's a very different thing. Truth and love, same. Be yourself. What are you hiding from the world? What are you not speaking to the world? Why? What are you not showing? What are you not sharing? What are you afraid to be that you know you really are? Be yourself. There is power and there is freedom in that. This is the awakened embodiment of love when you be yourself fully. 5th point, kind of connected, express yourself. So, be yourself, express yourself. How do you genuinely, authentically speak? What is the truth that wishes to come through? What are the words you need to write? What are the pictures you need to paint? What is the dance you need to do? Are you caring what people think of you? Really? Come on, you're Shakti. Who gives a flying fuck what anybody thinks? This should not even be in your realm of consideration. To be socially accepted? To be judged? What the neighbors think, what the church thinks? Please. You're everything. You are Shakti. Express yourself. Be yourself. Show up as you really are. In your power, in your fullness, in your flow. The world needs this. The world needs this. Her expression into the world of love, of radiance, of shimmering sexual energy, aliveness, vitality, compassion, creation. Express yourself. 6th point on my list of 10 here for today. Embodying awakened love. How do we do it? We hold ourselves when we're triggered. We hold ourselves when we're going through process. We know how to do this. We cultivate the strength. We cultivate the awareness. We cultivate the self-love. Not to, as I said, spew out, but to hold, to contain, to process, to feel, to be with, to be transformed, to be undone and remade. In the evolutionary spiral of growth that we are all in, that is ongoing, part of the female feminine path is the undoing and the remaking. It's part of our monthly cycle, it's part of our life cycle, it's part of nature's cycle, it's part of our growth process. It is not a ladder, it is not a hierarchy, it is a spiral. And in this spiral of growth and evolution, we spiral down, we spiral up, we spiral down, we spiral up. We need to be able to hold ourselves in those moments of triggering, of activation. We need to be able to let go into the space of falling apart, breaking apart, and not knowing. Let go into the darkness. Let go into the emptiness. Be undone. And allow yourself to be remade from that place of emptiness, darkness, letting go, not knowing, descending like Inanna, the descent into the underworld. This is part of our evolutionary journey, and we need to be able to hold ourselves in that and reach out to our sisters for support if needed in that, or to a guide or a mentor to hold you through that. But that is part of embodying awakened love. Holding and healing, spiraling down and up, the letting go, the being reborn. Less attachment to the story, less attachment to the outcome. 7th point, embodying awakened love, needs us to have boundaries. So, particularly if you're like me and you have any kind of history of codependence, empathic, people-pleasing, you get into the spiritual world where it's all about we are one, and it's all about we are all love, it's all about loving everyone, this can easily be a bit of a trip that actually isn't healthy in the thinking we're being spiritual by overriding, pushing through our boundaries. That is not love. That is not awakened. We actually need boundaries. So there may be this sense of paradox in this, like we're all one, but we need boundaries. Yes, we do. To be healthy, we need to be healthily independent, healthily separate in order to experience unification. So boundaries mean no and yes. I'm not sure. No. No excuse needed, no justification needed, ever. This is my no. This is okay, this is not okay. Stop. Don't touch me like this. I don't like that. Like this, please. I can't do it now. I could do it tomorrow, but not now. This is self-love. It's not unspiritual. It's not unawakened. And this is based upon a connection to self. Because we cannot know our yes and no if we are not feeling and sensing what is happening in our bodies, in our hearts, not in our minds. Feeling in the body and the heart what is happening. Is this okay? Do I desire this? What is my body telling me? What is my heart telling me? Do I need time? Maybe I don't know. Maybe I need to give myself time and express that. Boundaries. Yes and no. Jenny, what you've said here, let me have a look. Jenny says, I often do a push and pull dance with a partner. My last partner told me, well, you never really pulled me in. I never want to be needy and do love being close to another, but can't seem to take the relationship to another level. Sometimes I feel so honest to the point of naivety. My last partner's told me, you never really pulled me in. You never really pulled me in. It's not your job to pull someone in. So that's his stuff. You'll know the truth if you're open to receive him. That's a different matter. Were you blocking him for some reason out of fear? Were you closed, semi-open? Only you can answer that. I never want to be needy. Well, that is revealing a lot. So in the fear of being needy, most likely you are contracted and inauthentic. Could you communicate your fear? So rather than contracting around it, can you say to the partner, I'm afraid of being needy. There's the truth, there's the intimacy. That will bring him closer. Or not, but it's the truth. So how he responds to your heart's truth. Well, when you speak from your heart's truth, it allows for a deeper intimacy. That's basically the dynamic that is in truthful, authentic relating, is you speak from your heart, you speak your truth. And if he's a man who can receive that and respond to that, he will be drawn closer by that truth. If he cannot receive that, he's not the one for you. But just look at how truthful you're being And of course that's based in a level of self-awareness in the present moment, so that you're able to identify what your experience is in the moment and communicate that, which is quite a skill. Because you know, I've been trying to practice that for many years, and I still don't always know in the moment exactly what's going on, but I'm a lot better at it than I ever have been. So I'm noticing, you know, I'm feeling this and then communicating it, but it doesn't happen 100% of the time. But that's where intimacy comes from, is the knowing of the self, the identification of your own experience, and the truthful communication of that to the other, without expectation and without fear. Or if there is fear, just naming it. I'm afraid. I feel fear. I'm afraid to tell you this, but I feel I need to share that right now this thought is running through my head, or I'm feeling contracted in my heart, or whatever your truth is, you know. And if you're doing a push-pull dance, then you'll be attracting somebody who does the same, until you have processed the root of that and you're more aware of it, it's more integrated. You'll just attract someone who is used to playing those games too, because we only ever attract what matches us, right? I hope that's helpful. Boundaries. Actually, I want to come back to something you said as well. Sorry, Jenny, going to come back to one more thing. I never want to be needy. But maybe you are. That's what I feel to say. Maybe you are needy. And that's okay. I think we all have a needy part of us. And maybe the needy part is afraid that it's so needy that its needs will never be met. And that fear, again, is a barrier to love, is a barrier to intimacy. Maybe part of the healing for you is just, you know, an intuitive communication is to explore your relationship with neediness, your own neediness, and how you feel about neediness in others, and what's at the root of that, and doing some healing around that. Yes, yeah, there you go. So there's always, you know, the truth is always apparent. It's always so easy for me to see and feel in others. Okay, the eighth point. The eighth point is conscious communication, radical honesty, which is what I was just saying, really. If you are, whether you're in a relationship with somebody or with yourself, romantically, or with anybody else, awakened love can only exist in the realm of radical truth, radical honesty, radical transparency, conscious communication. And as I've said, that begins with you knowing yourself, which is why the first one was know yourself. You have to know your history, you have to know your wounds and be honest with yourself about them, but you also have to be able to track sensation, emotion and energy in your body in the present moment. And for a lot of people, they're not that good at doing that. It's not a skill they've learned or they're very good at, because most people cut off. Most people go into the head and cut off from the feeling part, but it's in the feeling part that there's the information about what is true now. The head's going to tell you stories about the future and the past, really, you know, la 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 la. But what is real now is here in the body, in sensation, emotion, energy. That's what's real, and that's what is giving you the information of what is actually true and alive now. What is going to happen in the future and the past is irrelevant. Conscious relating begins with the speaking of the truth of what is now. So you need to be able to track and notice your embodied experience. That's how it starts. And that's the only way to a deeper intimacy. And in that level of intimacy, there is the potential for communion, for union, through words, through the gaze, let alone sexually. Nine. Oh, I've got 11 points. Oh no, I I didn't realise I had such a long list. I only had 10, but I realised as I scroll down I've got 19, so I'm going to have to speed up. Dear. All right, I'm going to speed up. 9th point, 100% self-responsibility. I mentioned this in yesterday's video. You have to be willing to take 100% responsibility for what's happening now. Yep. 10th point, inner union with your masculine and feminine and with God. So awakened love calls us to cultivate a deepening relationship between our inner masculine and feminine. This is ongoing. This is ongoing. It's not like you get to an end point and it's done. There's always a deepening of this relationship that is possible. And the more this deepening happens, the more we are in a unified state. The 11th point that I have is gratitude. Being grateful for everything that is happening in your life, in your relationships, once again. Seeing everything as a gift, everything as a learning, everything as a blessing, finding the gift in the pain. Again, I spoke about this yesterday, but everything really and truly is a gift and brings a gift. So it's for you to find the gift. But having that attitude of gratitude changes and shifts everything. So gratitude for all. Awakened love is grateful. Grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this lesson. Thank you for this experience. Thank you. Feel how your heart just expands as soon as you go into authentic gratitude. Awakened love. 12th point, commitment to growth. Commitment to growth and commitment to self, actually. Commitment. It's a commitment we make, this journey, this path, to ourselves, to our souls, to the knowing that we are evolving. So when we have this commitment, everything is welcome, because that is, you know, we've bowed down and we've said, okay, I'm committed to this. I'm committed to embodying awakened love. So therefore, whatever brings me closer to that, thank you and welcome. I know it's not necessarily always going to feel great, but that is my commitment. Just like in any relationship, it doesn't always feel great, but we are committed to it, committed to the growth. We're committed to the unfolding of ourselves and our healing and our becoming. 13th point out of 19. I thought there were only 10. This question is always helpful. What would love do? What would love do? What would love do? I used this question for myself when I was tuning in to, you know, it's been really hard for me to come to clarity around the need to release my lover, because there's so much that is beautiful about that connection and I cherish. But there are aspects that weren't working for me, and I noticed that I was holding on, clinging on a bit, holding on. We both were. It's hard to release something that has so much beauty and love in it. But my question to myself then was, what would love do? And I realized that the most loving thing for myself was to release it, even as that means letting go of things that I love and want. I still want certain aspects of that connection, but the only thing that's kept me holding on, not the only thing, but a big part of what was keeping me holding on was the fear of losing them, like great sex. I love great sex. I love it. We've been having great sex. I don't want to lose that. I want it. I want that in my life. But the trade-off that I was making was holding on for that and other things out of the fear that I wouldn't have it again. So that's not love. Fear is the opposite of love. And the question, what would love do? That love trusts. Love says, you will have great sex. It's okay. Love says, I trust the universe to bring me what I need. Love says, you deserve the full picture, not half the picture. Love says, I want to take care of your heart. Love says, the universe has got your back. Love says, your needs can be met more fully than this. Fourteenth point, connection with guides, deities, angels who represent love. So just for example, I'm not doing this to determine what it is for you. I have I've got two different cards. I've got Mary Magdalene on my altar at the moment. So she is one of the archetypes of unconditional, pure love. I work with Mary Magdalene. I call her in every day. I love her. I love her energy. I love the healing that she brings. I love her. She says, love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. Unconditional love. You may have another angel, guide, or deity that you work with, but you can work with these archetypal energies to ask for healing, to ask for clarity, to ask for more love in your life and in your heart, just like the prayer that I do every morning to Rhiannon. Thank you for the love that is in and all around me. May my eyes choose to see beauty. May my ears hear the truth beneath story. May my voice be healing in action. May my hands manifest all that is good. May my heart be the drumbeat of love in this world. May my dance be your energy in motion. May my feet hold boundaries healthy and strong. And may my body open and surrender to your flow in the meeting with presence. Beloved Rhiannon, may my mind be filled with love so that I create a world of love with my thoughts. And so it is. 15th point. Energy goes where attention flows, right? Focus on what you want to grow and what you appreciate in yourself, in others. So it goes together with the gratitude, but remember, energy goes where attention, or energy flows where attention goes, right? So, for example, I'm very conscious that I can spend a lot of time in process, I can spend a lot of time in analysis, I can spend a lot of time in emotional processing. And I'm mindful that there's nothing wrong with that, and it's absolutely important and vital for me to process any energy and emotion that is moving through my body and my heart. I mean, I've been talking about that the whole way through all this. However, what I'm careful about is the thoughts and the analysis that I'm having, that I focus on what I want to grow, not what I don't want to grow. Focusing what I appreciate, focusing on what I want more of, where the goodness is, so that grows, right? So focus on what you want to grow and what you appreciate. This is especially important if you are in a relationship and you're wanting to bring more conscious loving into this relationship that you're already in. Focus on what you want to grow and what you appreciate. 16th point, you are here now, be present. Be present. All that matters is now, not the future, not the past. What is true now? Be here now. Don't get lost in story. We're so good at that. Be present. And your presence is such a gift to everybody else. You know, awakened love is present to itself and the other. Is present to itself, and life is present right here. Commitment. I've already said commitment to growth, but commitment to self. Commitment, if you're in a relationship, to the unit. One of the patterns I've also had is to lessen my commitment to myself when I go into relationship. I'm really committed to myself 100%, and when I'm single, you know, this energy is very contained. I'm self-fulfilled, I'm radiant, I'm happy. And then I can get into the pattern when I go into relationship of losing the integrity of that to a certain extent and giving my power away to a certain extent. Commitment to self as well as to the unit if you're in a relationship. If you're constantly attracting people who won't commit, look at where you're not committed to yourself. Celibacy. I mentioned that yesterday. If you're on a healing journey towards awakened love, a period of celibacy I highly recommend, so that there's no outlets for the sexual energy that wants to get, the needy heart that wants to get, the parts that feel incomplete and like they need something from the external to complete. In the sitting in your celibacy, feeling your wanting, feeling your longing, feeling your desire, can be a very healing growth process. And finally, there should be 20 really, but at the moment there's only 19. Maybe I'll find one more. Be the one you want. Be the one. Everyone talks about finding the one, meeting the one, attracting the one. You are the one. Be the one. If you have one of those lists, I've written dozens of them, of all the qualities you desire in a mate, beloved, then look through that list that you've written and be it to yourself. If you don't have a list and you're single and you feel this longing and this desire for another, be the one you are seeking. Put your hands on your heart. Tell yourself how much you love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. When you're feeling pain, triggered, emotion, heartache, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. When you're triggered, when you're acting out, when you're behaving like an immature little girl, I love you, I love you, I love you. All the parts of you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Be the one that you want. What do you desire? Don't wait. Don't put your life on hold for someone to come. Live your life fully now for you, as one. Be in that divine relationship with yourself now. Don't wait. Don't put off life. Who knows what tomorrow brings? You've only got today. What are you waiting for? Don't delay. Don't put off your joy. Don't put off your desire. Don't put off your creativity. Don't put off your full beingness, your full self-expression. You don't need anyone else for that. So be the one now. Be that for yourself, fully, completely. It's such a powerful, liberating, magnetic place to reside in. Be the one you're looking for. Be her. I'm just really feeling the power of that invocation and that prayer in this moment. Really feel the divine energies just radiating down, filling my heart as I say, be the one now. Empowering, golden, radiant, shimmering, loving energies of the divine feminine. Filling the whole being, from crown to root, whole body, heart glowing, heart opening, heart healing, heart expanding. Anchoring ourselves in this new paradigm of awakened love, letting it take us, letting it fill our cells, upgrading, up-leveling. This is what we're here to be, to become, to embody. You feel it? You notice how in this place, in this moment, in this experience, there is everything you need is right here. Nothing is lacking. You're full. True. Aware, awake, radiant, beautiful, divine. Love. Thank you for being with me today for this. I hope my words have reached you in ways that are needed. I'm here, as I said yesterday, for those of you who are called to work with me individually. Be in touch. And I don't have clarity yet on another offering around this for the group, for a group, but it will come, but I don't have the clarity around that in this moment, but I will let you know when it comes. So for now, sending love, blessings to your heart, to your life, to your body, to your being, to all that you are navigating in this moment. We are all so loved.